I'm gonna show you how to load your dirt bike into the Boundary Trailbreaker truck bed rack. But first of all, why would you load your dirt bikes up like this when it seems like such a pain to get them up there? First of all, it's actually not nearly as bad as it sounds. I do it by myself all the time, even after long motos. But 2 reasons why you should have your bikes like this. Reason number 1, you want to be able to close your tailgate. Having your tailgate closed allows you full access to your hitch so you can tow, and you can off-road without your tailgate flopping around. Reason number 2 is the amount of storage space that you get underneath here. When you've got your tailgate closed with 2 motos in here, I keep all of my gear right here whenever I go off-roading, camping, things like that. But this has all of my helmets in it, all of my gear, and all of that. I don't have to bring it inside every time I want to go for a ride. That's pretty much it. Enough of me talking, let me show you how to load it up. All right, I'm gonna show you how to load this bike up, but first, let me show you how to set the rack up so that it makes the most sense for your truck. So first, you wanna set up your moto tray and your moto tie-down points in a place that make the most sense. For a little short bed, you wanna have it kicked off further to the right. I'll show you why in a second here. Your tie-down points, I like to have the tie-down points as wide as possible for optimum bike stability. For tie-down straps, I recommend these Rider Cargo wide tie-down straps. These ones have the carabiner clip. So these things will just sit there and hang out. Set these up before you get the bike up in here. That way, you're not trying to fight setting those up while the bike's up in here with you. But that's it for that. Let's go ahead and get the bike up here. All right, like a normal truck bed load, you wanna make sure the ramp is lined up about with your tray. Doesn't have to be exact, but the closer it is, the better. But like usual, we're gonna get my little 250 up here. I've done this with 450s, I've done this with all sorts of dirt bikes, and honestly, it's not nearly as bad as you think it's gonna be. I'm a scrawny little redhead and it's not too bad. So first of all, right here, I'm gonna get this bike up, pinched up against our lower bar here. This lower bar is optional. I like to use it because it's like a cheater bar for getting your dirt bike up there. So now, I like to grab my front brake, I'll walk around, keeping pressure on it, because in these little short beds, these tiny little beds, the bike is gonna wanna roll off the back. So you wanna keep the bike from rolling off the back. So I like to have it kicked up right here, front brake engaged. Now, while keeping pressure, keeping the bike pulled forward, you can grab right here on both sides, and then lift up on that lower bar. Now, if you're a weakling like me, I'll let the bike sit there for a second, hang out, take a little break. After a long moto, after riding for 3 or 4 hours, I'll post it up there, I'll hang out for a second, then I'll load it up into the next bit. All right, once you're ready to go on this part, keep pressure forward, make sure the bike doesn't roll out the back. Swing underneath here, keep your feet on the ground, and get ready to lift straight up with your knees, just like that. And the bike will roll right into the tray. I've done this myself after a long 3-hour moto, which for me is long, I guess. And it's no problem. Just give yourself 5 to 10 minutes after the ride. Make sure you have energy to lift this thing up if you're by yourself. Now from here, grab your tie-down straps, and like usual, load them up. I like these Rider Cargo straps a lot because they got the soft loop on them. Handlebars are getting dinged up. Easy to use. And they're not too long. We got straps flapping everywhere while you're driving around. Just like that. Go ahead, cinch them down. One thing to be aware of, this is an air fork on this bike. With an air fork, you don't want to compress them too much. It might blow out your seals, but just keep an eye on that. But then give your bike a good shake. Shouldn't move much more than that. That's pretty much it. I like to stow my straps right here on the foot pegs. Keep them right there. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you've got a short bed, this is a little 5-foot bed on this Ranger. This is the same bed length as a lot of Tacomas, as your Jeep Gladiators, things like that. One thing I'll do is you'll notice that right here, this back wheel sticks out a little bit still. So in order to make it fit in the bed, there's a couple of things you can do. One, take the bike, kick it over just like that. The bike is still sturdy and it'll fit in your tailgate. I fit 2 dirt bikes in this bed, no problem with the tailgate up and tow to load, no problem. So keep that in mind. Something else to think about, on 5.5 to 6 foot beds, sometimes this tailgate right here, not tailgate, this fender will interfere with your tailgate. One thing you can do if you have this problem is put something underneath the rear wheel, little 2x4, 4x4, pop that up, just pop that rear wheel up like this, gives you more height so that this isn't scraping up on your tailgate. That's just on some trucks, not all of them. But that's pretty much it. Now for taking it down, same thing, way easier than it looks. All you're gonna do, pop the tie down straps, go. Just like that. Make sure your gears aren't engaged. Make sure you're neutral. Just like that. Then make sure your rear wheel is lined up with this. And we're just gonna roll it back slowly and keep your hand on the front brake. Then just feather it as you lower it down. So just slowly making sure your rear wheel is lined up with that tray. I like to keep my hand on that front brake, and you're gonna drop it off of this, just like that. Then like usual, roll it down. If I can do that with my little Suzuki, you guys in your KTMs and Cowies will have no problem doing that. One little tip you can do too, this lower bar is optional in the truck. If you don't want to have that lower bar in there, I recommend putting your stool up in the bed and then using your stool as that lower bar for a place to put your front wheel and allow you to get up and underneath. The kicker is having a middle ground to put your front wheel between the bed of the truck and the top. So having that middle ground will give you an easy boost to be able to get up into the top. At the end of the day, all you're really lifting is your front tire and your fork. You're not lifting a whole dirt bike. It's not as heavy as it looks. But that's it for a solo man load. If you have 2 people, super straightforward. All you're gonna do is walk up in there, each of you grab one of the lowers like this and lift it straight up into there, making sure you don't toss one of your friends off the side of the truck. That way, extremely easy. I've done those dozens of times and no problems. At the end of the day, we're here to help you fit your dirt bike in your truck and your gear and have your tailgate up so you can tow, so you can off-road. You don't have to worry about your crap falling out. And also, bonus tip, if you get to the end of a ride and you're by yourself and you get injured or something, you don't have to use the rack. Thankfully, your truck is still a truck. You can load your dirt bikes in just like normal. Now with that way you don't have to worry about being stranded and having to load it up and being stuck out there. That's pretty much it. If you have any other questions for us, let us know. Or if you have any tips for how you'd load it, let us know too. Send us in some videos and we'll look forward to seeing those. Thanks guys.